Building a bulletproof emergency fund is one of the most important financial steps anyone can take to ensure long-term financial stability and peace of mind. An emergency fund acts as a financial safety net in times of crisis, such as a job loss, medical emergency, or unexpected home repair. The first step in creating a solid emergency fund is setting a clear, realistic goal for how much money you need to save. A good rule of thumb is to aim for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. But for those with dependents or less job security, aiming for closer to 6 to 9 months can provide extra protection. To begin, calculate your monthly expenses, including rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, insurance premiums, transportation costs, and any debt payments. Once you have this number, multiply it by the number of months you'd like to cover, and that's your target. Start small if necessary. $500 or $1,000 is a great place to begin, especially if saving the full amount feels overwhelming. The key is to start building that cushion as soon as possible. Next, create a separate savings account specifically for your emergency fund. It's important that this account is easily accessible in a crisis, but also distinct from your regular spending account, so you're less likely to dip into it for non-emergencies. High-yield savings accounts, money market accounts, or even some short-term certificates of deposit, CDs, can offer a safe place for your money while earning some interest. Consider using an online bank with competitive interest rates, as it can encourage you to leave the money untouched and grow over time. The next crucial step is to set up a consistent saving strategy. Treat building your emergency fund as a monthly expense, like rent or utilities. Automate transfers to your emergency fund every payday, whether it's a small amount or a larger sum. Automation removes the temptation to spend that money on discretionary items and helps you build the fund without needing to think about it. Start with an amount you can comfortably afford, even if it's modest. Over time, as you pay off debt or increase your income, you can gradually increase the amount you contribute. While it's easy to get motivated initially, staying committed to growing your emergency fund requires discipline. It's important to prioritize the emergency fund over other financial goals, such as saving for vacations, luxury items, or even non-emergency debt, until you've achieved your target. Resist the urge to pull from this fund for planned expenses, even if they seem important, because doing so will undermine its purpose. If you have an existing savings account or investment fund, remember that those are not substitutes for an emergency fund. Investments like stocks, bonds, or retirement funds may fluctuate in value or have penalties for early withdrawals, making them unsuitable for emergencies. Consider your emergency fund to be a first line of defense before dipping into other savings. Once your emergency fund has grown to an appropriate level, ensure that it remains untouched unless a genuine emergency arises. However, it's important to remember that life changes, and so should your emergency fund target. If you experience a significant change in income or lifestyle, such as buying a house, having a child, or taking on more debt, revisit your emergency fund goal and adjust it accordingly. Also, periodically review your expenses to see if there's room to trim or optimize, which can free up more money for your emergency fund. In addition to the monetary goal, it's important to assess how you would handle different types of emergencies. For example, how would you cover expenses if you lost your job tomorrow? Consider the worst-case scenarios and build your fund with those in mind, ensuring it will cover a variety of potential emergencies. If you face an immediate crisis before you've built a substantial emergency fund, look into other ways to weather the storm, such as negotiating with creditors, utilizing community resources, or applying for short-term financial assistance. Lastly, while an emergency fund provides peace of mind,